Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Elisa Maria Designs. I am Elisa Maria, and today is Tuesday, and Tuesday is reserved for confetti and for Beauty in Violet. It is a custom kit that I had done by Dreamer Designs by Paul Francois Queen Zach. And there she is. Now, before we get started, we did her face last week. We did the confetti areas, and it was her face, which was really interesting to do. It was a lot of a lot of flesh tones. Of course, it's her face with some shadowing on it, but the light section was really interesting to do. Okay, so I don't know if you saw yesterday, I put up, instead of just putting a calendar up that this is what's going on during the week, I decided to do a update on all my canvases that I work on all week long for you and for me too, so I can keep it all straight. And when I held this up, I had a question about this right here. I think, and I'm going to wait until I finish a little bit more of the canvas. I think that this is just bothering me like nobody's business. I think that it doesn't look right. I think that I even went back and checked to make sure I had the right drills in there, and I do. So that's going to be switched out. I think I'm going to switch it all to a shadow, just leave like a little detail in the nose. Okay. You tell me what you think is why I'm telling you and why I'm asking you what you think. Please comment, please like, please subscribe. Please think about becoming a member. I'm trying to grow my member community. We have a lot of fun. We meet for coffee on a Saturday morning, which is nice. And I'm going to expand that little coffee chat that we have on a Saturday morning, especially when the winter months come in. Okay, so have every diamond pen out practically that I own because I'm working on so many different canvases, and this canvas likes that pen and that pen likes this canvas. Let's get you set up here. Where are we working today? Well, you could see that I have completed the border, and somewhere along this end here, there's a lot of confetti in this area. So I'm going to make a decision here now to see. I have my little confetti trays out. Where exactly are we here? Okay. Okay, so this is another area of confetti where there's just a very small amount of shading. And if you've been with me through these confetti tutorials, shading is our jumping off point. So we could fill this in and come into the light area and see how that transpires. So I'm teaching you how to think like a painter, like an artist. And you are a painter. You're painting with drills. You're not painting with paint. That would be a brush stroke, right? And so a brush stroke and how it moves across the canvas, this is exactly how it moves across here. So we start with our shading, right? But we go back to the beginning. This was once a blank canvas, like everything else, like a blank page, a blank canvas. Maybe it was a sketch at one time with a drawing pencil or a piece of charcoal or pastel. And then the details of whatever it is that's on your canvas began to be filled in, carving out the eyes. If you've ever watched any kind of drawing tutorial, the eyes look a little wonky, and then you see the artist begin to carve in shadow, light, and this is how we begin. We begin at the end, and then we fill in to the beginning. Okay, so I begin my confetti with shadow, and then I move into light, and then we fill in the color. So we're just peeling back the canvas like an onion. So there's just a little bit of shading here. How do I know? Okay, so shading is always white because the color is dark. You couldn't print it in black because you wouldn't see it. And the light colors are always in black ink because they're light. You couldn't print them in white because you wouldn't see it, okay? Easy enough. So we haven't covered well what to do when you have a big area of light and just a small area of shade. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out together. How is everyone this morning. Well, let me see if I can put this way. And maybe, hold on, I'm going to put you guys this way. Not on my trays because I need them. And so you guys know the drill. Usually I pick out all my white colors first because I'm going to, that's, like I said, that's my jumping off point. Do you get a good look? Did you get a good look at this? It just looks like a strawberry or a birthmark. I'm going to get the original picture and put it up and see why they rendered it this way. Love Dreamer Designs. I love their rendering. I'm almost done with this canvas because a lot of it then is also color blocking. But we still have a few more classes to go down at the bottom, just to keep reiterating what we've learned and, you know, just I think repetition, mother of skill, right? And maybe that you get it because not everybody gets it. Maybe you're not an artist. Maybe you don't have any training in, you know, drawing or art. I have some. I used to go to the New York Institute when I lived in New York, which was fabulous. Oh my God. You could just walk in on any class that was happening. You didn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to sign up for this class. So you would go to the New York Institute. Maybe there was a model and you wanted to sketch and you could just walk right into that class because you had a membership. Or you could just walk into any studio and bring your own supplies and you could work. That's what my girlfriend used to do. She turned me on to the New York Institute and she's a fabulous artist. I'm going to pop some of her work up. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Barbara Ann. I know some fabulous artists that are friends and they're just fabulous. And she's got, oh God, she works with ink, just with ink. And that's the whole thing with the shadow and the light, you know, just working with black ink and making it stand out as you know, break it down into different shades of gray. So I'm going to pop up one of her most fabulous designs that I love, along with a few pictures of me and her at the New York Institute. And I was just hanging my canvas and she was like already 3 portraits in. Anyway, here we go. So you guys know what I do here. And I'll show you something else that I just recently did. I broke down my tray into my shadow colors and my light colors, so I'm not hunting all the way through. They're still in some order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, right? And they're still like it's really crazy that the shadow colors are more of like arrows and flowers. There's a few alphabet I, Y, and X, but they're still in order. So, but I'm not searching throughout the whole thing. I know my shadow is on the left. I know my light my shadow is on the right, and look at all the light colors. As you learn this way too, and as you design your canvases with different design companies like Dreamer Designs or Diamond Art Club, Jaded Gem Shop, you'll start to see a repetition of color. And this came to me when I was doing Curtis Reykjavik. I was doing Crimson and I was doing Lilac. Couldn't be any different. But let me tell you, there were at least half the palette, they both shared the same color. So there you go. So let me pull my light color out, which is this. This is going to be my jumping off point. And I don't want to jump ahead of myself because I did this last week and I was wrong. So you guys know how I do. I just do this little like half moon shape or something here. Half of a circle, moon, whatever. And I'm going to put them in here. Now, there's not a lot of really confetti going on here. This is the crescent moon, so that's all one color. And I'm wondering if that color is an A, B, because if it is, it'll be a lot of fun. Of course it's not. Okay. That would be a lot of fun to get that. I'm thinking now, because I'm coming across a big area of just light, whereas when I do the shading, it really gets it going. It gets a good flow going, and you know, it just kind of, you're almost not even thinking at some point at where you're going next, because you know where you're going. You're moving like a brush stroke. Okay, so here we go. Fill my shade color in. I do love this portrait. I just don't like this strawberry on her nose. I don't know what's going on here. I've been pulling my Diamond Art Club pen more and more and more and more all the time. It's just always ready to go. Yeah, it's just always ready. And I'm like, this is cool. And if I need to get more putty, on my placer, it's right there. My single placer anyway. I just twist, do a little twist, tiny, tiny, not even a full, it's a micro twist. Because if you go any further than that, you're going to get too much putty. You might not even see it when you twist it. You might be like, oh, is it coming out? It's coming out. Just micro, a little whisper of a twist. And you get enough putty. I have the hubby home, and, he's a part-time DJ in his mind. I'm like, I need to film. He's like, okay, I'll go upstairs. I'm going to go take a shower. There he goes. And do I have too many on here? I think I might. Let's just take one off. There we go. Huh? Oh, quiet. We have to come up with some kind of schedule because he's retiring. And I'm really thrown off my game the past couple of days. He's not feeling well, which is why he's home. And it's been really painful for him. He has like a pinched nerve. Ooh, what happened here? I don't want to come off. There we go. And, it's been a lot of, really just taking care of him. I'm still getting my diamond painting in. Even if I come down here late at night and I do it. Because it's to the point that I have to. I have to do it. There's just no two ways about it. I have to do it. Because if not, I'm thinking about it in my sleep. Is that weird? I think because it is such a stress absorber, it really is. You get in your zone. Now see, I have to twist this up, and I'm going to do it. You think there's nothing coming out of there, but there is. See? I forgot what I was talking about because I had refilled my pen that quick. It is a stress reliever, is what absorber. You get into your flow, you get into your little zone. I come down in the morning and I have a routine. Once I hit the steps down here, I have a whole routine for upstairs before I even come down the steps. But when I finally come down the steps, it's like the cat. Make my coffee. Then I put my little brooder mask on. You guys, if you've been with me, you know what the brooder mask is, because I went to the eye doctor and my eyes are very dry, and so I wear this little mask. I actually did a little video on it for you all. And I do that, and I sit with a cup of coffee, and then what do I need here? I have everything but what I need all the time. I don't like using these tweezers. They freak me out. But I can't find my designated cuticle nippers. I don't know. They took a walk somewhere. I don't know why, because they're only used on my canvases. They're probably in one of my other jewel boxes that I have. My, Elizabeth Wards are my jewel boxes full of diamonds. Yes, that's what I call them. So, there you have it. I have my shade colors all done. All I have is light now. So how am I going to move through this? So I'm going to actually pick up what I see surrounding my shade color. So these are all shade colors. Let me move this over here. I'm just looking at this. It could be a little bit tighter here. I'm actually going to have to pick them up and move them. I tell you guys all the time, don't push your drills. And what am I doing? I'm pushing my drills. Anyway, so I see that there's an I, 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 and a Y. They are really what's bordering until you come into this area, and then it's a Y and a U, and I'm touching my canvas with my putty tip. A little bit of alcohol, a tiny little baby bit of alcohol on a toothpick will pick that right up. I don't have a toothpick here, or I would be, scraping that up. Oh, I do. Here, so I'm just going to I have the inside of this tray Um, it always falls out, and that's why it's here. But I'm just showing you, I have drills in there, and it's not going to hurt my drills. So I take a little bit of alcohol, and boom, it's gone. It's gone. It just disintegrates. It's not hurting my canvas. It's still tacky. Because I'll tell you, if anything gets me, it's the putty. Oh, can't stand the putty. So let's move. I'm going to move into I here. Now, another trick that you can use is if you want to find another little island that you can work in. Sometimes with the naked eye, it's not too, you really can't see it. But if you just take your cell phone and look through your camera lens, you're going to see, like I could really just start here with all the K, 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 and then work well with surrounding K, and then that would be N, and then what's surrounding N would be the number sign. I could do it that way too, but I'm so used to doing my shading. This is my shade color. I'm going to go into I. So, gotta work with the lights now. Here we go. This is I. And I'm gonna mark it on here that it's I. This way, if I miss one, it's here already. And another thing, I have a few things coming this week from ARTDOT, but I just want to show you this. Keep calm and diamond paint because it's going to tie into what I have coming this week. So I have my eyes. I'm going to start putting them in. Really, it's an eye, but to me, I'm like, it looks like a big H on its side. I'm like, you goofball, it's an eye. And then, you know, I'm going to just finish this and see. I have two stuck together, but I have two here. I'm just going to, more putty. I'm just going to see, because my pen slipped. Here we go. I'm just going to see what this looks like. I don't know. Maybe when it's done, it'll make sense that that big glob of strawberry on her nose. See how it just made a ball and picked it up? That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to see if this big glob on her nose is going to make some sense after. I'm going to stick my finger in that alcohol. I'm just going to clean my edge. There we go. Stop the offender. You could tell it didn't hurt the canvas. It still has that beautiful snap to it. And then what you're doing is you're just, where was I? I was here. And I'm just working around the perimeter. I'm working around the border of the color that I just put down. That's all I'm looking at. What did I put down? I put down this color, and I'm working my way around that color. Here's an H. Here is an H. Oh, an I. It's an I. See, I get something in my head, and I can't let it go. But for me, you know, diamond painting for me is a meditative art, and that's what kept me away from confetti, because confetti was just like, you know, I'm searching. I feel like I'm doing the word jumble. Where's this letter? Where's this symbol? And then I would start to get a headache, and I'd be like, this is not fun. I don't like this at all. And I don't know really. I think I do know. I was, here's an H, and of course they put it right near an N that looks like an H if you don't really look at it. Okay, that's H. N is purple. No, N is later blue. Okay. So I was actually sitting in this chair and I leaned back. And so there we go. Here's one more. no other H's because this color is not there. However, that doesn't mean that it won't be. I call these little, I might get one H over here. Listen, it's an I know, but I'm going to keep calling it an H. I might get one I over here, and I just call that like a paint splatter, like it got flicked over here. Anyway, that was my whole thing with. I sat back in my chair, and that's an H in there. Okay, I sat back in my chair, and I was like looking at the canvas, just thinking about like, I love this canvas. I want to continue doing it. Do I have to really break down the sections into like maybe 2 inches by 2 inches and just do it that way? But I'm a really productive person, and so it's like I'm weighing, do I make them really small, these little areas of confetti, and do I work it that way? And then, just pull the same drills out again, and you're opening and you're closing and you're pouring and you're putting back and you're getting it all over. Like, it was just like my brain was hurting. And it may have been me just looking back and looking at what 2 by 2 inches looked like and seeing like, well, this is all one color here. Like if I were just to carve 2 inches out here, I'm like, well, there's a lot of K there. It just was like I could see when I leaned back, this is all one color. There's like a little island here, and this is all one color. There's a little island here. Of course, there's a big color block here. But you start to see the little islands of light or dark. And that's when I started to like, this kind of is starting to make sense to me. Of course, we don't color in first. We start backwards. We start with the shade and the light. And here I got a little bit more putty here. Because this putty, when you get it on your canvas, you can't see what's underneath. It drives me crazy. Okay. So I have Y, and I could see that Y is moving all along here. But I have a couple of U's over here, and I don't see that anymore. So I'm just going to pull them out real quick. There's like 2 of them, just to fill in that little gap, those 2 little missing pieces. Now maybe they'll show up down here, but for right now, here's, my theory that this is a paint splatter. And, the paintbrush flicked over and the paint splattered over. That's my story. Create your stories. And then here's Y. And then Y, 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 all Y. So I'm going to pull Y as the next color. Make sure I got these the right way, because now I'm sideways. And then I just keep working that border. I just keep carving out. And they begin, if I did this color blocking, they would begin to meet each other, which is really cool. So let me get my pen here. This is the Y. This is a China marker. You can write on glass and plastic, and it'll just wipe off. You just wipe it off with your finger if you want to. And so if I'm saying that this is a meditative practice, I certainly don't want to be frustrated by it, which, I'm also a yoga teacher, and, there are times that things that we do in yoga can be frustrating, but we have to meet it, and we say, well, what is frustrating me about this? And I don't know if any of my practice came into play there. I'm sure that it did. But I was looking, rather than just sit in it like you do in yoga, I was looking to say, well, how can I make this more enjoyable? I'm at the edge of this. What's next? Now here's a few more H's here. So eyes. I'm just gonna boom, boom. Where'd they go? Here and here. I love having these trays out because I could just come over and fill it in. Boom, done. No more opening and closing of containers. You know, take a small amount out if you're worried that you might drop it. The cat might jump up on the desk, whatever it is. Just take a few out and you know, work that way. If you have kids, try it that way. So I'm just going around the border, going around the edge, and I'm filling in all the Y's. But, you know, my email is always available. I started to put it in my videos just in case you don't read the descriptions. And I've had a few people, you know, just, you know, email. I'm so bad at email too. But I don't know any other way for you to contact me outside of here without putting a comment. Sometimes people don't want to put a comment for whatever reason. But I had people email me and just say, like, I'm getting things off my desk and it's fun to do now. Like, that was my goal. Make it fun. Okay, any more? Here's a Y. Just running my perimeter here. Here's one rogue one right here. Not bad though. Like, my eyes aren't. Now there's a bunch of Y's down here. Okay. And like I said, maybe that's the way that I do it next time. Maybe if I have a big block of color, I fill in the color blocking first. This is a learning journey for me too. For as much as I know, there's always something to learn, which I love. I don't like knowing it all. I like learning as I go. So that is an N or an A? That's an A. A and N. So I really, you know, I could venture in here, but I don't want to. I want to stay right where I am, right where I'm working. So I'm going to stay here. I'm actually going to like block this out because that's part of it. Part of it is not looking all around and jumping all around and just keeping yourself in this zone here. So what is working the edges here? Now you might think I keep saying N, but it's actually the number sign, which is next to the color that I just put down. So I'm going to work that one next. Have my little dryer sheets in there because I cannot stand those little crunchy things, and you don't need them. Put your dryer sheet in there, give it a good shake. And I put like a nice long one in there. Give it a good shake and they'll separate. They'll get coated with the dryer sheet. And your washi tape absorbs moisture so that your drills don't gang up on each other like they do. So let's get this number sign in here. I have fresh putty in here. What am I doing with fresh putty in this tight little spot? So I'm just working where I was, staying in the area of where I was. I'm going to get a few of these lines down though. Again, fresh putty, so. This seems to be like almost like a line that's separating away from the other colors. I will say that this is a bigger section than I usually take, and that's because of the crescent moon coming in here. But it's still a little distracting to me. Again, it's just the way my mind works, and if my mind didn't work this way, I wouldn't have came up with this method. But like I said, it's just the way my mind works. I get overwhelmed very easily. I get overwhelmed in an ice cream parlor. Yeah, it's like I can only choose vanilla or chocolate, because if you start going into different flavors with me, you've lost me. You'll be there for, for the following summer, because I can't make up my mind. So I have to keep it simple, right? I have to give it a kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. That's my acronym. It's like chocolate or vanilla. And I did this with my kid too. I never told him strawberry, because he's like me. He's like, ah. And then I would just get Neapolitan ice cream and give him all three. And then he wouldn't eat the strawberry for God knows whatever reason. He would just eat the vanilla. I'm like, oh, now I know. Mommy's got ice cream. It's always going to be vanilla. And you know what? The power of observation. The kid never asked me for any, like, well, where's the chocolate or the strawberry? He ate what he liked. Here we go. And so filling in what was next to the last color that I used is now carving out the next color, which of course to me seems to be the N. And it's really interesting that there is one other color. It's these 3 dots, but there's like one here, and one over here, and one over here. So it does carve out these sections of color for you, and you just stay in your lane. It's like driving. Just stay in your lane. Just keep traveling down the same highway. Imagine you're, running along the coast. Here's the ocean. Here's the ocean. And you're riding along the coast. And you're just riding along the edge. And what's interesting is like, I'm still in here, right? I'm still riding along the edge. And even though I know that my next color is going to be N, there's just a few here. And a few here, some down here. But in between these little holes, there's only a few. But if I were to just say, oh, I'm going to pick the color that jumps out at me, because I did try that method, I'm still like maybe in one section where I'm like, oh, I see a lot of Y's in here. But then there were some up here. But these were easier to fill in. Even though I do see a lot of Y's down here, I also see a lot of other color. Like I see an N and an A and an arrow pointing up and a 7 and a 3. Why drive myself nuts? I could have filled them in when I had the Y's in there out, but I didn't want to. I want to keep riding the coastline. I want to keep riding the edge. I know where I'm going. I have a map, and I just keep going in that direction. I am so confident, you guys, with practicing this method that I am like looking to. I tried not to get too eager. That I'm looking to like have another custom kit done. Now, you guys know that Dreamer Design is my go-to, but this is another piece of artwork that I found in the public domain. And I can tell by looking at it, it is going to be really confetti heavy. But I never get too big. I'm doing 40 by 40 because I love my paintings and I want to hang them up, and I can't get these big monster paintings and then just like put them away somewhere. I want to hang my paintings up. So, I have to consider the space that I have. And I'm going to switch my pen again. I'm going to try my little glass pen. Do you have stuff in you? I think you do. But I can tell, and I'm in love with this. I don't even know who the artist is. I'm in love with this painting. It's something that, every now and again I go over to ARTDOT, and I pay for a membership. It's $10 a month because if I want to see anything in high resolution, it's available to me. I'm just looking over my edges. Here's one right here. And I'm ready to move on to my next color, which is going to be, I'm going to go with N. So I can tell by looking at this piece of artwork that I want to have done that she is going to be a lot of confetti. I'm considering getting maybe Jade at Gem Shop, because when I saw her do Adorn, I was really impressed. I mean, Adorn is beautiful, but I was really impressed with the drills that I was watching Lizette put in. And I thought maybe this is the canvas that I get. I don't have any, has anybody done Jade at Gem Shop custom? If you have, can you let me know? Because she might be, I might do a custom with her. I don't know. I'm so tempted to do Dreamer Design again because I know their turnaround time. You know? So, yeah, that's the dilemma there. And then maybe I should just get a, here's a big piece of trash. Maybe I should just get a Jade at Gem Shop. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Now, Lizette said you're going to love her canvases. They're beautiful. And I try not to compare diamond painting companies. I don't think that's fair to the company. I think that everybody has their own vision and, you know, they're all doing the best that they can. Okay. So, but I do see a difference. I like, and I haven't worked with them in a while. I like working with Diamond Art Club. I do like their drills. They're you know, highly beveled and highly glossy and shiny. And I, you know, even though Bud the Tabby Cat is an old kit, he's a beautiful kit. And then I have the Muka coming up. Now I don't know that Muka had the new kit, so that might be an old kit too. I don't know. I'll have to see. I don't think it was a new kit. I went out and bought myself a handheld, what do you call it? Magnifier. I even found one in the dollar store, which is like a sheet that you put it like right over. It's like the size of a magazine, and it's as thin as a sheet, which is nice if you're reading. But I would say if I were you, and you can use your cell phone, the magnification is as high as you want it to go, and you could see a lot more. Now I would have my, I should just go get my other, I have like a house iPhone and, you know, show you what I mean. Hold on. Okay, so I have my extra house phone. So you could open up your magnifier. I don't know that I have one on here because it's just a house phone. Or if you don't want to download anything onto your phone, because I think now you actually have to download that. Just use your camera. See the difference? Can you, hopefully this is picking this up here without a glare. But I could see, oh my gosh, I could see so much better. I'm over here straining my eyes right now to see these little, because if you can see, it's like there's, you know, a lot of the symbols that look the same. So I'm looking at the N, I'm like, is it an N? Is it an A? Is it a 7? But also, you can now also see those little islands that we're following, like right in here. See how that's forming, this is forming the K's, which are going to come around here. Okay, so this is forming the K's, which are coming around here, which are then going to go into N, which are then going to go into Y. And as I'm saying this, which is then going to go into A, as I'm saying this, it's almost the same pattern as up here, but upside down. But if you just look through your camera, oh God, the magnification. Look how big you can make it to see what it is that you're looking for. Just to do a once over, because I'm telling you, I'm straining my eyes here a little bit, trying to see, did I miss anything? Well, yeah, I missed a bunch of ends over here. Let's keep going. So that's a little tip. If you don't, if you can't get out to a dollar store, you don't have one near you, you have it right there, right at your fingertips to use your phone. We take them out when we go to the restaurant to see the menu. And let me just get a few of these multi-placed in here so we can move along. I still use my little stick pens that come into the kit, because this one is from Dreamer Design, has a cone tip, and I could pick my ABs up with this cone and just water. I don't need to put anything in that little tip. I don't think you could anyway. I don't think it would allow. I don't know. I've never tried. I just thought it was really funky, this pen, and I was like, oh, how do you? I think I had wax in there. I think I did try it with wax. I found it so interesting that I got a different type of pen. And why this tip? There was no instruction. Maybe it was just a preference from Dreamer Design that you use that or you try it. And I think I did put wax in there, and the wax just kind of gets lost. But I was dipping the wax tipped pen in water to pick up the ABs, and I said, let me just skip it. Let me see if I could just pick these up with ABs, and it worked. And pick it up with just water, pick ABs up with just water, and it worked. And I was like, okay, that's how we use you from now on. So I have on my N, but I see I'm going to need this again. But I have a lot of filler color coming up, like these little 3 dots. Now that's the last color that I have to pick up on, so I am going to pick up on that one. I really thought I was going to do A, but it's actually those little 3 dots. So I'm just going to put them in this tray. And there's Foofy. If you heard a water buffalo come down the steps. Hi, Foofy. Working my edges. Am I in the shot? Just going around where I was. Coming into the inside. Okay, what is next? Well, now it's A. There's one number 4 over here. Oh boy. So my next color that's riding along the edge is A. Let's get these A's in here. This calms me so much because, just I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I know what the next, oh, that's not the right symbol. I know what the next color is. I'm not, guessing and then, taking out a color, and there's only like a few after I'm looking at this 4" by 4" space, which is 10 by 10 centimeters. And then putting it back, and then, okay, putting it back, and then looking at the canvas, and I'm like, oh, there's another one. There's another one. I just put it away. And if it helps, look away at something. Just pick your head up, maybe roll your shoulders, close your eyes for a second, and then look back down at your canvas. Just give your eyes a moment to readjust. By looking at something else, looking at another color, looking somewhere else helps. If you do like the seek and find, some people love it. They love looking for symbols, and so, but just give your eyes a rest. I I was not a good contact lens wearer because I was always busy and I was always running. I was jumping on a train and I was going to Philadelphia. I was going to New York, and my eyes would be burning and itching and dropping drops in, but that really was not enough. And, I paid the price. Now my eyes are dry and I get up in the morning and I do my brooder mask, and, it's not fun. I put contacts on one night because my husband had a show and I knew that there would be photographers and all, and I didn't want to be, seen in my glasses. And so I had one pair of contact lenses left, and I said, I'm going to wear them tonight. And I suffered. I put drops in before, I put the contacts in, I put drops in before I got to the venue, put drops in while at the venue, put drops in before I got in the car, put drops in before I took them out. It wasn't enough. Okay? I can't do what I should have been doing. I can't do now what I should have been doing then. So I have a 7, a 7, a 7, a 7. That's just it. That's it. So I'm going to take these little dotted 7s and I'm going to fill them in. I'm not going to put them in one of my little trays here because these are coming back up here. So I don't want to put them away only to take them back out again. So I could just pick these 7s very easily out of this container. Again, just riding the border. No other 7s, right? But I do see anchors, a lot of little anchors, okay? So I'm going to put this back. I'm going to put it back this way. Just in case, there's a 7. Here we go. Just always trying to make my life a little bit easier and do things with a little bit more joy that, one gets thrown into the next tray, the next container. Just keep hugging your edges. Okay, we're going to be coming into our K's. That's all K, all the way around. So this is like another little island. So I could opt to just do my crescent moon and kind of make like a separation between the two. I don't know. But I have K's in here, 1 4 and 2 R's. So fun, right? So you know what I'm going to do there. I'm going to put this back. K is the next big one. I'm going to get a bigger tray for that too. K is the next big one. But there's an R, a few R's, 1 or 2. There's some that come in here too. Just a few. But for right now, I'm only worried about this part of the canvas. I'm not worried about what's going on the other side of the crescent moon. Well, thank you for throwing yourself out there because I'm only worried about this side. I see that with my little eye. Okay, I can see that there's more R's here, so I don't want to get, I don't want to start, doing all that. There's 1 4. Like I said, only worried about this side of the crescent moon because the next section would have been covered anyway. So that's my bad. I should have covered that up. See? Oh, yeah, I usually am only doing this size of a section. And being that I'm going sideways, I should have turned the washi, I keep calling this washi tape. Keep calling I's, H's, the release paper. I should have turned it around the other way, but I didn't, but that's okay. So I have all the rest are K's, and then we're going to go right into okay. I'm going to get a bigger tray for that. Let's cover up the crescent moon because we want to stay on the other side of it to some point. I'm getting too distracted. And like I said, it's the ice cream all over again. It's the ice cream. So let me get my K's in here. Just okay. And do you see how easy this was to come into this area of light colored confetti? We did have a jumping off point with the darker ones, which were here. And then we just kept working. I worked around this blue, and then I worked around that blue, and then it came into more of like a lavender, and then it came into a green, and then it came into a cream, and I just kept working these borders around and around and around and around and around. And there you have it. I'm going to fill in the crescent moon, and then this is just a repetition of the colors that are here, which is why I didn't take them out of the trays. It's N, it's I, it's A, and N, A, N, A, N, A, and Y. So I didn't take them out of their little confetti containers because I knew I was going to use them again. So what I'm going to do and not keep you is I will continue diamond painting along here. And this is also going to give me an idea of what the color, the crescent moon looks like underneath her nose. But I got to tell you, I think that's going to go. It's got to go. I don't care what it looks like. The crescent moon is not going to make that little strawberry look any better. That's my opinion. And so I will see you tomorrow for Woman in Gold. I will have all the drills in the cylinder containers. I will take them out. I will show them to you how gorgeous they are. And I can get a proper count also of really how many enhancements there are in that kit. But I hope that I've made confetti not only easy, but fun. See you as always in the next one tomorrow, Woman in Gold. Like, subscribe, become a member. Anything else I'm forgetting? Create the world that you want to live in. I'm doing it. Bye.